Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another video in my series called Just One Book. In this video, I'm going to look at the new comic books coming out on September 15th or 16th, 2020, and ask myself the question, which one new comic book would I buy if I could buy just one book? Now, this week, I am so excited about. There are so many amazing books coming out. It was pretty difficult for me to choose just one book. For example, I could have picked Seven Secrets #2. Why? I really liked Seven Secrets #1. And I don't know if you all know of Simpleman's Comics here on YouTube, but if you're not watching their videos, I highly recommend watching them, subscribe to them. I love their content. They're really great. And they have already read Seven Secrets #2, and they said, if you liked Seven Secrets #1, you're really gonna like Seven Secrets #2. I really like Seven Secrets #1, so I'm really looking forward to Seven Secrets #2. But not my pick for this week. Another one that could have been my pick is Star Wars #6, because Luke Skywalker makes a yellow lightsaber. Not blue, not red, not green, yellow. Never been seen before. I want to see it, and I'm excited to read this comic book, but it is not my pick of the week. Another book that easily could have been my just one book pick of the week, Batman '99, written by James Tynion IV. You know I like James Tynion IV if you've been watching these videos, and I really like this Batman title. But I didn't pick this one because I feel like it's going, that 100 is going to be the one. Like, this is going to set up the big, exciting issue 100. So because it's not 100, because I think it's going to be like just continuing the story on its way to 100, it wasn't my pick. Although, once again, super excited to read it. Another book that could have been my pick this week is Venom, #28. I'm really excited about that, but once again, that kind of falls into this mid-range story thing where I think it's going to be a great issue, and I'm excited to read it, but I think it's going to just kind of tell the next step in this Venom story that Donny Cates, you know I'm a big fan, is currently telling. Some people say there's going to be a reveal of who Codex is, and if the rumor I've heard is true, frankly, I don't care. It's heating up the first appearance of a particular character that I don't want to spoil, so I'm not going to mention. But to me, Codex would be an alternate reality version of this character, so I don't know why people would spec on the first appearance of, you know, the version of the character that we already know. But regardless of people's spec needs, yeah, okay, I'm curious to know who Codex might be, but it's not like a be-all, end-all, oh my gosh, I have to make this book my just one book. And also, you know, there's also Thor #7 coming out. Jeez Louise, so many books this week. Once again, from Donny Cates, you know I'm a fan. I love this Thor run. And that cover with Mjolnir and Ant-Man and Groot, and it looks like Captain Marvel and Storm and Iron Man and somebody else who I'm forgetting right now, all reaching for Mjolnir. It's like, I make that cover gets me excited. I also know that it's the beginning of a new story arc. I also know that Donny Cates is going to be kind of going in a little bit of a horror direction with Thor with this next story arc. And I think I might get excited about this book around issue 9. You know, like that might issue 9 I'm kind of eyeballing as my pick in a couple months. But no, not #7. I think 7 is going to set up this next story arc. So, okay, so I just listed a bunch of books that it's not, that it totally could be. So what could my book possibly be that I would buy if I could buy just one book this week? Well, my just one book pick is Stillwater by Chip Zdarsky and Ramon Perez. Now, I may have just blown a lot of minds with this pick, and I have to admit that it's a deeply personal pick. I'm kind of going with my gut on this one. The thing is, like, I've done research on this book. There's very little information about it out there, other than who wrote it, Chip Zdarsky, who the artist is, Ramon Perez. They both are Eisner winners. We've seen the cover of issue #1. We've seen the cover of issue #2. We've seen the cover of issue number 3, and I've also seen this 3-page kind of preview that I'm going to show to you right now. I really don't think there's any major spoilers in these 3 pages, so I think it's pretty safe to look at. But kind of avert your eyes or close your eyes and just listen to the next section if you're not interested in seeing any of the pages. Because while this is showing, I'm going to read for you the solicitation and a quote from Chip Zdarsky and Ramon Perez, which is the final information that I have on this book. So go ahead and take a look at this preview. The solicitation for this book is really short. It says, "In the town of Stillwater, nobody dies. That's not just a promise, it's a threat." Then I have this quote from Chip Zdarsky where he says, "I'm thrilled people are finally going to see Stillwater. This idea has been percolating in my mind for years now, and it's been fun working with Ramon to build this tiny, strange world. I've always wanted to write a horror comic so I can show the world that I'm not just creepy, I can also write creepy," says Zdarsky. "I love getting to explore immortality on a small stage, the idea that you can live forever, but just within such a constrained space. It's been a treat getting to write characters struggling with that terrifying deal." Perez added, "It's been a joy to step away from the superhero genre and delve into the horror, thriller, and a dash of mystery genre with Chip on Stillwater. I hope readers are as unsettled as I was drawing the book." Okay, so now that we've gone through all the information that I have about this book, I have to answer the question, why? Why is this my pick for this week if I was going to buy just one book? And if I was going to boil down the answer, it would basically be Chip Zdarsky. I really like writers. I'm really gravitating towards comic book writers. And I just keep hearing such amazing things about Chip Zdarsky. When I got back into comic books about mid last year, I asked a lot of people, what new comic books should I be checking out? What are their recommendations? And I heard 2 answers over and over and over again. One was The Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing, which is part of the reason that I picked up We Only Find Them When They're Dead, which was really good. If you didn't read that, I highly recommend picking that up. Really interested in the world that they've created there and where they're going to be going with it. The other title that I kept hearing over and over and over again from people was Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky. Now, neither the Hulk or Daredevil were characters that are like on the top of my list of favorites, and both were kind of, well into their run, so I didn't immediately jump on either of them. But I was like keeping my eye on both of these people. And for Chip Zdarsky, not only, did I hear about Daredevil, but it's, he won an Eisner for Sex Criminals. And there's also this limited series that he wrote called Spider-Man Life Story. And people, when they talk about this book, when I've heard people talk about this book, they talk about it like, what a great idea. So well written. There's such reverence when they talk about this book that I'm super intrigued to see what's up with Chip Zdarsky and be able to get on board with the first issue and #1 of a new title is an opportunity that I just can't pass up. In addition to that, I'm really interested in the concept of this book. It seems pretty straightforward. Okay, so there is a town that people live in where they can't die as long as they don't leave that town. Seems pretty straightforward. There's a little bit of inherent conflict there, but nothing like fantastic. But then you hear Ramon Perez in his quote talk about it being a horror, thriller, mystery genre. And I'm like, okay, what are the horror and the thriller and the mystery elements of this concept? I'm really interested in, because if you have a good writer, I think that you can take this concept and those ideas, those genres, and really craft something really interesting. And horror wasn't necessarily something that I have been excited about in the past, but because of my love and appreciation for Something is Killing the Children, I've opened up to that aspect of the horror genre. So I'm super intrigued about the world that they're going to build and the story that they're going to tell. So once again, that in combination with Chip Zdarsky apparently being this amazing writer, and I just need to find out for myself, is why I've picked this book to buy, if I could buy just one book. If you agree with me, for some reason, and you're also super excited about Stillwater, please back me up in the comments. Please let people know that you are excited about this book as well. And also, if you think I'm a nut job and you think, why would I pick this book when there's a Batman 99, when there is a Venom 28, when there's a Thor #7 all coming out on the same day, please let me know which one of those books or some other book you would pick if you could buy just one book. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting from everybody who's found their way to my content. If you're interested in subscribing and seeing more of this content, that's great. Hit the subscribe guy right over there. And if you like this video in particular, hit the like button. I always appreciate those as well. It's very encouraging. Once again, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.